I went to do a women's day at a church, and the theme was "Fixing Your Sister's Crown." I had never heard that saying before at all. And then I was like, oh, that seems to be a thing. But one of the thoughts, and I think about this for how the Bible talks about Barnabas, is having the ability to be an encourager of others, right? To be able to see things that lie in people, because sometimes in our families of origin, we never had that, or we don't have anyone that's be like, Mag, you're really gifted in this. And there's just a ministry there that's needed, that ministry of encouragement.
Welcome to The Invite, a podcast where we gather around real conversations with friends inspired by our faith. Join me as I invite you in on the conversation. Hey everyone, welcome to The Invite. And I'm here with my sister, Rochelle. I'm so excited. Hi Rochelle, how you doing?
Hi, Maggie. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the invite. It's good to be invited.
Yes, it's okay. I love it. I am so happy to invite you. You are definitely a dear friend and a wonderful sister. So you guys are able to just peek in on our conversation just for a little bit. And I'm excited to have this time with you. This busy schedule. I'm able to squeeze in your busy schedule.
Don't listen to her, folks. Maggie's the
Yes.
one that's busy.
No, it's nowhere near. I'm like, I have a limited time with you, so let me use it wisely. Oh man. So I am excited. And tonight is gonna be different. It's gonna be a different conversation we're gonna have. Um, I'll let you go ahead and take the floor. But before we do, I have to introduce you. We gotta
You don't
know.
have to.
Yes. We need to know, who is Rochelle Makawulu? Who are you? Tell me a little bit about you.
Okay, so I live in Georgia. I am the wife of one husband. I have one cat. Um, I do, I do business coaching and consulting, small business coaching and consulting. That's kind of like my day job. And I like people and I like you.
Honored that you like me. But yes, you definitely have a way with people. That's really good. Such an, I'm like gracious to the cat. Your cat is nice. So I don't like cats, but yours, I could deal with it. Even our
Yeah.
kids, they don't like cats, but your cat, we like.
All right. We'll keep her around because you and the kids are okay with her. We won't give her
Yes,
away.
please don't. But yeah, tonight is gonna be a different conversation. Rochelle came up with this wonderful idea, which I don't really think is that wonderful, but it's wonderful to make. Anyway,
Yes.
go ahead, take the floor, Rochelle.
So this evening we've decided to just turn the tables a little. Maggie has traditionally interviewed her guest on the invite, and we've decided to switch it around just a little so that we can spend some time learning a little bit more about Maggie Winston. And so I'm going to ask her some questions. She's going to cooperate and answer,
I
and
will.
we'll see where the rest of the evening takes us. So the
Okay.
first, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I said okay.
All right. So the first question for you is, what's the most adventurous or spontaneous thing that you've ever done?
Wow, that's a good question. Nothing too crazy. I think it was just like on a whim. A friend of mine, we just like, let's go jet skiing. And the thing is, I'm not like, I can't really swim, but I can save my life. And I never like done any of that. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. I went jet skiing. And I mean, like, that's not really that spontaneous, but I really don't do much. So that was big for me. Okay. So it was jet skiing. And then I went with a friend. We went when I went to St. Croix the last time. We went on a car ride. It was like jet skiing, but that was way safer, easy. That wasn't too much, but the jet skiing part was. That was
Mm.
a little scary. A little.
That's nice. Now, you got to explain to us a little about this, Maggie, because you're from St. Croix.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about this not swimming bit.
So first I didn't have any swimming lessons, and I don't know, I never like to put my head underwater. So anything with my head being underwater, I'm like terrified. So and then maybe I always had perms or something. I didn't want to whip my hair. So it was just I didn't want to put my head underwater. So anything that had to do with that, it was just too much. But I knew because my dad, we go fishing, and I would jump off the boat in like the middle of nowhere. Like you see no land. I would jump off because like the water out there, the current is different. So I'll jump off the boat and swim, paddle around and just be around. So I will be in the water. I'm not like afraid, but that's just not like this like I haven't been able to like swim, but I can save myself. Like if I jump off of the dock or something, I can like push myself to get to the ladder and climb up and stuff like that. But not like actual like swimming. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not that skillful at that.
Don't worry, I am right there with you, so I won't hold it against you.
Oh man, yeah.
So maybe one of these days we should plan to get some swimming lessons, both of us, and
Yes.
really learn how to swim so we can enjoy all the joys of the water.
That would be good. That would be good.
All right. So we're going to put it on our to do list and we'll
Yeah.
circle back around for that. The next question for you is what inspired you to start the podcast?
Man, okay. What inspired me is my love to share, my love for sharing, like the word of God and just talking to my friends. So I wanted to be able to create a space where we just talk, like just have conversations. Like I saw podcasts where people just have conversations and just do that, and that's good. But then it's like the conversations they're having, I don't really like. I feel like I like that podcast, that one I just wouldn't listen to. Like I was like, eh. So the type of conversations I would like to hear, how about I make something where I would like to hear the conversations that I want to hear? So it'll be like this podcast is nice with this and that is nice with that, but like have the conversations I would like to have. So that kind of inspired it. And also I just had a podcast with a friend before and we weren't able to like schedule like when we could meet up again. So it was like maybe I should just do my own, like my just continue a podcast. And it was like I always felt I need to do it with someone else to make it flow. I was like, let me talk to others, just invite my friends. So that's kind of how it came up. Nothing too like fancy. It's just like the Lord has just been telling me to do His work in some form or shape, and that's just how it was inspired.
You shared with us the reason why you started the podcast.
Yeah,
And so I was curious to know what has been
the most.
um, the most rewarding part of the journey. What have been some highlights of hosting this podcast?
I haven't done a lot of them,
Hmm.
but the ones I have done, the rewarding part about it is just to actually record some of our conversations and look back and be like, ah, I needed that. Like, I am blessed by this way after. So, we recorded a lot of our podcasts in some time ago, and I'm releasing them now. But I'm like, I forgot we talked about this. So the rewarding part is just like being blessed myself. Like I am blessed by it. And then also just being able to talk to my friends that watched it and they're like telling me how this is so helpful and how this has been like water and dry ground or something that they really need to hear for their season that they're in their time with God or in their time just in life. And I'm like, that is so good. Like, cause it's not, it's something that like I enjoy it for myself. And then I'm like, I'm seeing somebody else can enjoy it as well. So that for me is rewarding.
That is awesome. That is awesome. My next question for you is what's one lesson you've learned the hard way that has shaped who you are today?
Wow. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give a let me see because I have so many. I learned the hard way all the time. I gotta this Caribbean saying who don't hear the feel?
Hmm.
That's me
Yeah.
all day. I don't hear nothing. I be feeling. I be like, oh so let's see.
You can share
Man,
more than one with us. We're
no,
here
no, no,
for
I'm gonna try to keep it to one. I'm like, what do I want to out myself on? Because oh boy, the hard way. Okay, let me see. This one comes to mind. This is the most. This is a more modest one because there are some that I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm not I don't know if I would say that, but the modest one that comes to my mind is this. So okay, I am the person that like acts up more now. I'm prayerful, a lot more prayerful about things. But before, I would act upon things emotionally, like always based on what I'm feeling. So I know reason is telling me no. Like my husband is telling me no. Like common sense is telling me maybe you should consider the past and think about making decisions based on the past, the present, like all these things. But I'm here, like, I just want to do it because my heart is in it. And I felt it, boy. Even though
Mm.
all the red flags are saying, like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't, like, I'm trying to help somebody, like, really help them do a whole lot, bend over backwards, like they say. And, like, it's like evident that yeah, that's not the way. And I just be going because my heart is in, like, I really be touched by people's stories. My care for people be there.
Mm.
I wear my emotions on my sleeve. Sometimes it's out there, like, oh, you need help, I'm here. So it's like, yeah. That is, I had to learn the hard way. And I'm not to the point where I'm like, bump you, I'm not going to help you. But listen, I'm going to hear your story out. I'm going to use a whole lot of more like thought towards it, prayer and all that. But really, not just act on emotions because it can mess you up. So I definitely learned the hard way in lessons like that where people like just really pouring out too much that I don't need to be doing. That's one
Yeah.
definite way.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for sharing that. I think there are definitely a lot of people that are listening to can resonate with that.
Yeah.
Just sometimes we can really be emotionally um,
And
charged people. And so emotions kind of lead us. So thank you for sharing that. My
yes.
other question for you is, can you share a moment in your life that was a turning point or a defining moment for your personal growth?
Okay, man, that's a good one. One defining moment for me, I mean, like I'll go way back because there's some in the present, but the
Mhm.
main first one I'll say is when God arrested my attention because I was not seeking Him. 0%. Like I was far from seeking God. I used to go to church because like I grew up going to church. I didn't mind it. I enjoy because like my mom painted the picture of church and she made it invited. It was not like weren't forced to go to church. We went
Mhm.
and we didn't mind it. We really didn't. So it was like I'm just going to church every once a week. That's it. Besides that, an intimate any type of relationship with God, I did not have. I was not seeking it. And then my mom paid me to go to this nightly meeting with her. And I needed the money. So I was like, okay. So she was like, how much can I pay you? I was like, I need a dress. I need a new outfit. So the price of the outfit, I'll come. So I went and literally my life changed from that day. Like I came there just only intentionally just because she been asking me for a long time. I keep telling her no. I'm like, I go to church on Saturday with you. I go to church and then that's it. Like asking for other stuff Friday night, Saturday. Like, no, that's too much. So she did that, and I'm telling you, that night my life changed completely, and it has been changed since that day. So the Lord just arrested my attention, completely woke me up, and then the next day I was praying to Him, asking Him like, "What should I wear?" Because I wanted to go back to the meeting, and I just wanted to like honor Him in my apparel. And He pointed out to me, He like impressed on my mind, like pulled out the most modest outfit I had in my closet and paired it together with a little jacket I had. And I was like, okay, sure. And that was so big for me because I had never prayed about clothes and I just been
Mhm.
wearing stuff and I've been wearing stuff. So to like pick out the most modest outfit and then put it on and then I just felt like convicted in so many different levels. But like and then it led to other things. I mean, it started with modesty, then it went with my lifestyle and my choice of friendships and my relationships and my diet, and it would just went to all that. I mean, in this, like, it just boom, 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 boom. So that literally opened up the floodgates for me.
Yeah.
So that was the most defining moment for me.
That's nice. How long have you been walking with the Lord now?
Oh man, that has been, whew, I was 19. and I'm
And you're
35.
just like 21 now, so
No,
just
I don't mind telling my age. Whatever 19 and 20, 35, whatever numbers you do, you do good at math.
so you've been walking with him since you were 19. What has it been like over the years?
Oh, ups and definitely downs. Whew, definitely downs. I definitely had
Mhm,
my moments of straying away and then
mhm,
coming back. But truly in the midst of it, like God has been faithful. He's been good. He's been showing himself to be God. And it's like if I cannot say that he is not real. Like this week I was praying to him. I was like, Lord, like I was talking to him like serious. I was like, I need you to come true because this is like I know who you are. And it's like if you don't come true, it's not like I'm like you're not God or everything, but like I'm
mhm,
serious. Like we like this relationship we have. Like I believe you gonna come true. It's not even a question. And when he did, I'm like, you have been too good for to me, like for
mhm,
me to believe that you're not gonna come through again. And it's just like he came through. So but like as a child, I have so many stories. Like, oh man, I have stories for days. But we will keep those stories. I don't know if I'll share all the stories, but I'll share one because I have a couple of stories I could just share. I have shared it one time, like in a testimonial thing, but I had never shared all my stories at one. But this is one. I'll share one. I was around
mhm,
like a kid. I was elementary, definitely not like I was around like 8, no more than 8, 6, 7, 8, around that time. I can't remember the age, but around those ages, that age, I was like, I literally, oh gosh, it's just so much. But I'm gonna try to make it narrow it down because boy, I can go on and on and on and on stories. But let me just start with this one only. The Lord impressed upon me. He was like, to wake up, like to not go to bed. Like backstory, quick in Syncroy, living in the islands, the lights go a lot in summertime,
mhm,
especially. So the lights are gone. It's gonna be gone for some hours. So we like my parents, my mom, I should say, she had this tradition how we go to sleep. Is we were like drink tea and we'll like
mhm,
have like a little time together, like talking and like chilling in the room, and then we go sleep. But we like did the routine. We took a bath. We drank tea. We just chilling. But then my mom was like, "Do you guys want to go to sleep?" And I was like, "I'm always like, yes, I'm a sleepy head. I'm gonna sleep all the time." But my brother is only me and him. He was like, so I'm always saying yeah, but this time the Lord was like pressing me like, no, say you want to go outside. And I was like, I want to go outside. And in my heart, I'm like, I don't really want to go outside. But he's like, no, I want to go to sleep. And then my mom was like, I'm pressing her like, I want to go outside. I want to go outside. And my mom said, because Maggie don't ever say she want to go outside, let's just go because she never says this. And my brother was like, oh, okay. So basically, outside is we're staying outside with all the family, the cousins, to hang out until it cools down because we ain't got no fan, no AC. It's hot, and then we go sleep after. So we do that. Less than 5 minutes pass since we came outside, and we just chilling by the cousins. We hear a big boom, an explosion. Our house blew up in flames. And I was like, that was all God. My mom and we just praising God. My cousins and stuff, my aunts, they're bawling, they're crying, they want like, oh, your house. And we hear like God is good. Like we know that this us coming out here was no accident. This was not like, oh,
mhm,
maybe. No, no, no. We knew that was God impressing on us hard to go and just for both all of us to comply. Because if my brother, if he was like, nah, we doing this, we'll just be like, okay, sure. Because Jesse, we always like, yeah, Jesse, go ahead. So, but like every one of us was just in sync with God. And we knew it wasn't us. My will, his will, and my mom will, we always gonna be like, this is not nah. But we knew this is a God moment. This is not a maybe moment. Like this is God. Like for us to be out here, the house to blow up, I always
mhm,
knew like you can't tell me there's not a God. Like I always knew that was like that was one of the defining moments as a kid. That was like you can't like nah. I know if there's a God, I know He real. And so yeah, that was one time that I just you can't shake that experience because it was not a maybe. It was not. It was not
mhm.
like I just changed my mind. It was not like that. So yes. So
Yeah.
that one thing, I'm always saying like why I brought that up to back it back up and be like the reason why I'm saying that is because like I definitely always knew there was a God. I've always understood there is a God, but not when he's personal and real to me. Now I had a lot of different little experiences throughout my years that I definitely, I mean, solidify. I better not be playing around with that guy. So now when he's like in my life, now I'm actually like having a relationship with him. I had all these times to be. He was like, look at me here, look at me here, and I'm just like looking at him. I'm like, God, you're too good. Like you're too good. So because I had a lot of experience, even though I wasn't walking with him, I have stories. Now when I'm actually trying to submit my life to him, it's easier because I have the checkbooks, like I have the record, like to know that he's real. And then also just studying and understanding the Bible and really seeing like the validity of the Bible and stuff is great. But like the experience of it definitely have helped me sustain me. So that this is the long and short of the sustaining ability of God. It's like
Well, amen. Let the church say amen, right? That was a really powerful story about what happened at the home. You know,
yeah,
God be praised. Or we may not be having this conversation right here.
I
Right?
know. And the thing
So,
is, like my parents just like that like couple of weeks before that was income tax time, and they went and remodeled the whole house with the income tax. So the house is just fully remodeled, new rooms, new everything, and that was and we were and in that we were just not shaking like, oh, I'm so sad, and like no, we're
mm,
just so thankful and appreciate life so much more that like material stuff was nothing, like whatever.
amen. Now, it's your experience with the Lord over the years is really powerful, and even some of those stories you shared when you were a child.
Yeah,
I'm wondering what you would say. So there's a lot of people in Christianity that for one reason or the other they have been finding themselves stepping away from God, right? Like giving up the faith that they once held in him. I'm
yeah,
curious to know what you may say to a person who's kind of hanging in that balance, like I don't know if I
yeah.
still want to do this. What might you say to them?
Oh man, that's a good question. That's really good because, like, even in the midst of me saying, like, yeah, I had this experience, I've had a time where I literally turned away. Like, I literally said, I want nothing to do with you, God. I walked away from Him, and it was a series of events happened. To make it long story short, I started to believe, like, I had an identity crisis, and then I always had an identity crisis, and then like I was faced with it with the reality of like my blackness or whatever, and black consciousness started to sweep me away. So I literally got a hold of some information about like black consciousness, and they started to like rip apart my faith because they try to make a lot of shots on Jesus and Christianity and the Bible. And because I didn't have no knowledge of history, no knowledge of anything like what the Bible really how like the validity of the Bible, I was swept away. So I would say one like you need to really sink your teeth in on really seeing if this book, if this God, if Jesus says, if he is who he is, like prove that, like search that out because there's two sides to the coin. You might hear all kind of stuff about why Jesus is not who he is, but man, there's so much evidence out there. If you seek, you will find. So just on that just like on that point you can and you will be able to find ton load and because internet, I mean, you could just type it in and you will get so much. So that in that just studying who God is a beautiful thing. But then actually just seeking him for yourself, like literally spending that time, like trying, like God, he said, prove me. He loved for you to test him. So if you're struggling with your faith, you're struggling, like literally come to him and be like, prove me, Lord. Like you show yourself to be God. And he was like, oh, that's like, I would love to. So he wants to show himself. He wants to give you that intimate, like have that intimate relationship with you. He is seeking you. So it's like, if I'm seeking my child, listen, if he just holler, I'm like, yes, I'm coming. So it's like you don't understand how much he wants you. Like he wants you. You are that lost sheep that he is going to seek out and save. So like we underestimate how much God really wants us sometimes. So if we actually give him the time, because sometimes we'd be like, yeah, I prayed, but you ain't really prayed. Like you turn that phone off and stop scrolling for a minute and pray that time that you be scrolling, you will see that you ain't really about that, really trying to seek him or really trying to see if he is who he is. Like we don't really give him that time to show himself. We give up so quick on the quest that we weren't able to even receive him. So I would say, like, for that, to that person that is like, I've been there, I understand, I know. And one of the things that strengthened and helped me was to understand the gospel. Like, I didn't know the gospel. I knew Jesus loved me and he died for me. Jesus loved me. This I know. But really understand the gospel and then it penetrates and touch and change your heart. Like that's when you know, like, if you ain't really got a relationship, you never understood the gospel. You had such a surface understanding that it ain't gonna penetrate nothing. So it's like a seed just drop on the ground with no real depth to sink in and get roots. So really understand the gospel and who Jesus is will change everything. So yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. I hope it's
Thank
a
you.
blessing to someone out there that has been, kind of wrestling with that. I know a lot of people
Yeah.
are in life, as the rates of the unchurched and people that are like, I don't have nothing to do with God are growing. But let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
You could go back in time and tell your younger self one thing. What would it be?
Oh gosh.
Just one thing.
Okay, I'm gonna just say one thing. Stop chasing boys. Listen, that's the real truth. I'll tell you the truth. I ain't gonna tell you the make up lie. I'm like, I'll do the right thing. No, no, no. Stop chasing men. That's why you stop. But yes, so that is what I'll tell my younger self.
Okay. The end.
Yes.
The end. Do we
Yeah.
have time for me to do one or two more?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Watching the time. Yeah.
All right. So here is, mm, well, no, actually, it's a little different than the other one, but what's the best advice you've ever received and
Huh.
how has it impacted your journey? What's the best that you can remember? What's the best
Yeah,
advice that you've ever received?
man. I don't know. Like this is the thing. I'm not a person that had like a lot of conversations with people. I'm not like with like people that actually poured into my life. The only
Mhm.
person that I would say, like I'm not even trying to be funny or anything, that really just ever poured into me is my husband. So the advice is always like whatever he said. Because prior to him, who taking that time? I don't know. Like, so I was like this person just wondering. So to be able to have like somebody pour in or even give any advice, like maybe someone might say something, but like the furthest back, I'm just like, mm. But the best advice I would say that someone ever gave me was to to embrace myself, like who God has, you know, made me to be. Because I don't have a problem with comparing like me to others, but I'm critical of myself. Just, I don't be thinking about nobody else really. I be thinking about like just me and what, like who I am and oh, how much I don't like this and all that stuff. And I'm just very shy and quiet. Like, as much as I'm talking here, is not, you're not going to get me to just like, it was so hard for me to just say what's on my heart. So like embrace like who I am, and then it's just so much about embracing who I am. Oh boy, because like I'm Caribbean, and I have like just like the way I was speaking my English language, all that stuff. It was just so, it's still hard, but it was super hard to just talk, to just be myself, to know my own voice. Because like I felt like I'm a chameleon. Like I'm talking to you, I'll talk this way, and that person I'll talk that way. I didn't embrace who I am in so many levels. I didn't
Mhm.
embrace like, I mean, I could just go down the list. So embracing me, like embracing me, who God has made me, and embracing and loving that, and then if I have to change things like that's need changing in a sense, not like crazy, but if you want to work, I should say, work on stuff, then yeah, but like really embrace where I'm at. So that's one thing, like embrace me. That is
So
definitely.
that's powerful. You said something that really kind of stuck with me and got my mind going, maybe because I kind of like mental health type
Yeah.
things. But I'm curious, you said that, before your husband, Chris, and you guys have been married since 2015. Shout out.
Yes.
Going on 10 years this year. But
Yeah.
anyway, um, what was that impact of not having anyone kind of pour into you in that way before?
Oh man, impact. Oh, listen, I was. Listen, I just being real. This is what I
Be
was
real, that's what we want.
the best explanation I'll say that that's like. I know. Please don't like when I say it. This is just the best words I could think of.
Hmm.
I'm not. It's not to shame anybody, but it's just an expression that I could say. It's fit me. Ain't about really the thing. But you know when they say the dumb blondes, that's like that was my life. So I'm not saying that, of course, not people who are
Yeah,
blind
yeah.
are not dumb, but you know what I mean. Like that was me. I'm just aloof, like just there. Like so, that was my life, and I have a lot of baggage from trauma in home, trauma outside,
Mhm.
trauma. So yeah, it was a lot of trauma, a lot. So I didn't have like that relationship with my parents like that. My mom, we were cool, but we just didn't go on a deep, like it was a surface level relationship. And my dad, forget it, we didn't talk. So it was that at home. And then who else? Like I don't have no other person, adult person especially, that I'm even talking to, much less pouring into me,
Mm.
not even happening. So then the only people I'm talking to is a little friends here, a little friend there, and they ain't giving me no. That ain't no real advice. Ain't no real conversation coming out of that. So that was my life, just going through life, just going. So advice and stuff, and like you should do it. Nah, I just don't know that life.
And how does that reality affect how you parent now?
Oh man, it affect. Okay, so even back it up, you said how they affect me because I didn't have it. It really just affect, like I said, just life of how my choices and like just the things I did and the underachieving and all that just affect. And then now with my children, how I affect parenting, it really is like it's good and bad. Like I'm always I'm reminded that I didn't have anyone to talk to, so I'm always making sure I'm talking to my kids. Like I'm literally praying in the morning. I'm like literally in my bed before I wake up, and I'm like, Lord, today, what do you want me to talk to my kids about? And He will be impressing me. Like today, kid you not, He impressed me. He was like, teach them teach them what they need to pray about themselves for the week. Like they need to work on whatever it is, like teach them, go pray for that, like pray for that, like today, like help them to pray for that specific thing that they need working on. So I'm like, yeah, okay, pray for that particular thing every day. Go ahead, pray for that, like literally. So I'm like very in tune with the fact that I just don't come with it naturally. So Lord, I'm seeking you. Because if it's just left up to me, I'll just forget and just stray. And we'll just be here. And we cool. We always my kids, they build a relationship. We talk all the time. But it could be just as surface could be sometimes. So because I'm like, I know I need to pour into them. I need to teach them more than just, book stuff and all that. But like pour into them the stuff that I didn't have. Like I'm
Mhm.
always praying. So it's like a habit now. I don't always do it. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm praying about it. A habit. Every morning I'm praying, like, Lord, what is it this week? What's the assignment? Because I don't have it in me. So that's just like knowing my inability. That's how it affects it. A go like some days I'm just like not as not doing it as much, but some days I'm just like it's on me. But I'm always praying for that. So it's just there. It's not something that's in the back of my mind. I'm literally remembering it and working towards doing better.
Yeah, I think that's really important what you said about the whole concept of what happened in terms of not having someone to pour into you and things of that nature. And I think many people can resonate with that in my own way, in different ways I can resonate with
Yeah,
that. And I think that through means like even this podcast, I think it's a good topic to come back up. And how do you? So
yeah.
a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a couple months ago now, 2 or 3 months. Yep, it was October last year. I went to do a Women's Day at a church, and the theme was "Fixing Your Sister's Crown." I had never heard that saying before at
Yes.
all, and then I was like, "Oh, that seems to be a thing." But one
Mhm.
of the thoughts, and I think about this for how the Bible talks about Barnabas, is having the ability to be an encourager of others, right? To be able to see things that lie in people, because sometimes in our families of origin, we never had that, or we don't have anyone that's be like, Mag, you're really gifted in this. And there's just a ministry there that's needed, that ministry of encouragement. So I'm
Yeah.
giving you another podcast topic for some future
I
days.
think you should be the one talking about it because you are so good at that. Like one thing
Oh,
you're so good at is definitely encouraging people, seeing the gifts out in people, pulling out the good in people, giving wonderful comments on just like you don't just you're in the room, but you observe and then you're like able to pour into people. And I'm like the way you pour in, the way you just speak to somebody. I'm watching. I'm like that I'm
I feel like
taking
you're
notes.
trying to change around my idea of you doing this
No, no,
podcast, but
no,
we'll
no.
talk about that.
Listen, this is the thing. Like, this is nice. You having a little conversation about me, but no, no, no. We gotta come back again because we have to turn those tables because I want to learn from you. So this is like, yeah, get to know me, but then the next one, I'm gonna learn from you because you got
We'll,
so
we'll
much,
switch,
so
we'll
much.
switch it up. We'll switch it up. I have one
Yes,
final question for you.
yes,
What's the
yes.
most exciting project or initiative that you're working on right now?
Ah, man. Okay, so right now, project or initiative, whatever, is my 30 days Bible study and prayer experience we're having. Today is day 13. I am excited about it. I'm excited that these like ladies are showing up. Like I give them challenges and they're doing it. So girls, when you hear this podcast, I'm shouting you out because I'm excited that you guys are actually showing up. Like I give them a challenge to like record themselves, expounded on a verse, and they showing up. They sending in their videos, and then this week we having a harder challenge, and then every other week we're gonna increase the challenges. So that's something right now that I'm working on, and I'm excited, and it's challenging me to stay in my word because like
Mm.
some days I be wanting to sleep a little longer, and I do sometimes. So I'm like, no, I can't be leading nobody with this example. So I'm gonna get up. So yeah, yeah. That's
That
something I'm
is
working on. I'm
that is
excited about.
awesome. That is awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Maggie, thank you for allowing me to interview you in this way. Friends, I know that you're like, why hasn't this happened before? Maggie has so much to we can learn from. And you're probably like, we need to do this more. So drop a
Yeah.
comment and let Maggie know that you want to see her being interviewed more.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But we have to turn the tables. The next podcast, listen, we have a set podcast, right? But the next one is gonna be me interviewing you. I'm gonna come with similar questions because
I
I
think
have
I'm
some.
gonna show up. No.
Listen, because I really want to dive into this idea of you, like having others, pour into you. Because I know you told me some things about how you grew up in your church and all that stuff, and I'm like, man, I be thinking about that. I'm like, that's so beautiful. So I'm gonna turn the tables, and we're gonna interview you. I want to hear your life. You have so much to share with us, so I'm excited, and I thank you so much for this because I would never sign up for this only because it's you. I'm like, yes, I'll do it.
You did a fabulous job. There was a lot of lessons there, and yeah, thank you for sharing so authentically and so openly as you did.
There's an invite. I want to invite them into real conversation because I would share that with you. So I'm gonna just be like, yeah, I'm gonna say it. Yes. But thank you, Rochelle, for coming on and asking these questions.
No worries. It was fun.
Okay, bye, you guys. See you in our next podcast. Bye bye.
Bye bye.